What's poppin', humans? Welcome back to the session today, and we're going to be hitting about love. Oh yeah, love. And we're going to be hitting the pros and cons about what love really does for anybody, or rather those who care about it. So let's get into it. Now, when we talk about love, we're going to be talking about mainly a flip, right? So in the context of love, it is a high valued feeling, really going out to where anybody can feel the sensation and it'll just feel like butterflies, or it'll feel like time has stopped and everything in the world doesn't matter because you're focused on that one particular person that develops this feeling. And it's an amazing feeling. Within the confidence of love, there's always been seen to have deep connections, a happiness boost, some type of form that really gets that supported system, really giving out the fact to say that, hey, you matter to me, and I wish to express my desire of how I admire you. Or vice versa, you would like to have somebody admire you and you love the fact that somebody admires you, so I say it works out. It also goes into, personal growth. When you hit a personal growth in love, it really does something. A change sequence really does hit that shifted moments where you feel like you can do anything. An invincible status per se. Or in a way, you just feel like anything can really go as long as you know that you have this love, specifically stating that nothing bad can happen because of the fact that you're in love. And within this power boost within the system, you understand that when it comes down to the whole term, I'll do anything for my partner, it literally becomes a mental status. Well, it becomes from a dream to a mental status with planning and vision to trying to make it a reality concept to which it's supposed to last for a long time. Within these compounds of the pros of love, there are some downside cons to that. Specifically stating that there can be some emotional vulnerability, which does happen a lot. Emotional vulnerability really does, I don't know why I stuttered there. Emotional vulnerability really does happen to really hit a deep root, specifically stating that, it can be various forms of questioning thyself, questioning one's partner, questioning loyalty, questioning other things that may render the relationship to continue. Kind of like when you're at a job and they tell you that they might not see a future with you. Kind of like that, but not in the job reference. Even though, it takes two to tango and there are mental structures and physical structures to show that relationship can be a job, it does have its various forms of ups and downs. Then another concept of the downsides to love, it always has that form of compromise or sacrifice. One of the two. I want to focus on sacrifice because that really does hit a really triggering word, almost like a nerve pincher, sacrifice. Especially when it comes to love, there are lots of things that you would want to keep your relationship going for, but at the same time, you also know that there's going to be things that you would have to stop doing or you would have to change, even though it comes out of your personal shell or your safe barrier, whichever you prefer. And it comes down to the idea of understanding that what you do within that sacrifice really does hit that idea that it makes more time to give a various form that you're doing a good thing. Or it could be the inevitable fact that you're just dodging responsibility or not taking accountability because you're making the sacrifice to keep our partner happy. It goes both ways in a hard standard. Now, when we come down to talk about the idea of love, there can be two forms of securities and insecurities. Basically, they fall under different ways depending on how you think about it and the people, but within that concept of insecurities, there can be forms of violence, there can be forms of understanding that there can be manipulation, whichever one you prefer. It just goes hand in hand. So within the ideas of seeing that different subjects of love can really hinder somebody's mentality structure, it can also hinder the idea that it can lead to tunnel vision. Tunnel vision is a very hard thing to get out of because you're having that feeling that you want to get something and you want it now, or at that moment, depending on what you want. You really want something and nothing is going to stop you from getting it because you're just wanting that item. Specifically, say that you would want a bracelet. That bracelet costs this much, it's only available at this time, but you're not understanding that there are other availabilities and other places that you can get that same bracelet, even at a cheaper price, maybe a lot better version from how you're seeing it now. But at this moment, it looks good, you really want it, you have the money for it, but you know that your money is supposed to be used for another context. But it's like, hey, fuck it, I got the money, I'll get it back. Within that understanding of love, it does show that it doesn't have to happen with people, it can also happen with materialism, it can also happen with animals, it can also happen with the forms of self-love, right? You would love yourself so much that you don't want to socialize with anybody else. You'd rather just be by yourself and just do what you want to do, which is understandable. Hell, there are people that are out there who love to be out there with attention. They can't function without attention. They want the understanding and the concept of life. There's nothing wrong with that. Strange lady, I swear. See, I love you. I'm not obsessed with you. Other people can be. I'm not one of them. You do too much. Now, I'm not saying that within the understanding of love, always discover love, right? I'm not saying don't go out there. I'm not saying don't try it. Give it a shot. But understand that there is caution when it comes to love. Now, yes, this word is very underrated. However, there are people that take this context to a very high standard. You know, otherwise there wouldn't be songs stating that how people fall in love too fast, too hard, and too easily, versus the times where people saying that they only love once and they'll never do it again versus the experience that they've had. So understanding the context of love, it does always show that you have to be cautious in what you're doing and what you're getting into. You know, critical thinking, not necessarily saying think before you speak. That should just be default. But at the understanding of saying that, hey, if this is the right person for me, I should understand that this person has the ideas of what I'm not looking for, or has things that are too similar. So within the ideas of love, there should always be that form of an agreement, right? Not necessarily saying a contract, unless you're trying to get serious with that, but understand that there is a form of agreements, and the agreements can be met and not met. Now, if these agreements are broken, what can there be, what can there be to make it better? What are the traditional methods that can be good to hold the relationship together? What can I do that I've broken this treaty with us to make it amends and understand that I will never break this type of thing again so we can move on? Or some other shit like that. I don't know. I'm just saying my own verse. It just hits different points to where people really do question love at times, or they just deny it in the context because, I mean, hey, people have their past and people have their lives. But that's not saying that you shouldn't go out and you should still explore. Hey, there's always room for opportunity, and that's a big word. Opportunity. It happens to the best of us because it always gets a positive side, but nobody really looks at the negative sides to understand that there are consequences, sacrifices, motives of understanding, but you would have to make certain choices, specifically a fork in the road. That shouldn't stop you from still doing what you want to do because you're in the forms of love. But don't get tunnel vision in what you have. If you understand that this person is not right for you, don't be fearful to leave. What's that old saying? There are plenty of fish in the sea. I don't really like that saying, but a lot of people do grasp onto that title. So within that concept, always explore and find yourself. Do what you want to do. Feel happiness within the love. But at the same time, don't shun people away because they don't give you the same love back that you're looking for. It's not how that works. This is humanity. We all live our life. But that is all the time that I have for today. Thank you everybody for listening to my ass rants yet again. And we'll be posting out more of these videos again in the near future. By what I mean I mean myself and my dog and pretty much anybody else who cares to join, such as the guest stars I will be having on again. So I understand that love can be a very challenging thing, but the beautiful feeling to ever have. I just wanted to say that. So as always, you matter, you have meaning, so take care of your life and do peace out, staying amazing.